Like my mind happened past the day. Seemed like just where I was, like I've been in the same rut for 17 years.
Orléans, France, where 17 years have passed since Thornwell's ordeal at the hands of the Army. His alleged theft of classified documents had resulted in 3 months of constant and often brutal questioning. Official U.S. Army documents and independent interviews confirm what then happened.
For the first month, Thornwell insisted he was innocent. Then, unable to take any more of the intense interrogation, he made up a confession, admitting he stole the documents and supposedly telling how he did it. The Army checked his story out. It didn't hold up, not at all. So they continued to interrogate Thornwell, and Thornwell continued to confess, continued, in fact, to say anything which would stop his torture. It was then that the Army hit upon a bizarre solution, a plan combining terror and LSD.
On June 12th, 1961, in this room, after 24 hours of continuous interrogation, Thornwell was given LSD without his knowledge.
Suddenly, Army officers burst inside and ran him down 4 flights of stairs. On the street, he was handcuffed, blindfolded, and forced into a waiting car. As Thornwell was sped out of Orléans, he was told that the French police were following and would kill him if they caught him. Thornwell had reason to believe this, as he had previously been threatened with death by these same police. A staged threat, although Thornwell didn't know that. The car crossed the Loire River, and Thornwell was told that the police were gaining on them. This had all been prearranged with the French police. Thornwell heard the brakes squeal, and he felt the car swerve as it was forced to a stop. He was pulled out the door, and as his blindfold was removed, Thornwell saw the French police approaching with drawn pistols. Thornwell was ordered into their car, and the French police drove him away. Inside the car was an American Army officer who explained that he could stop the French police from seizing Thornwell only if Thornwell were to tell the truth about the documents. This was to be Thornwell's last chance. The car stopped and Thornwell got out. Thornwell was dizzy from LSD, which had been slipped into a glass of water he'd been given earlier. With his head reeling from the LSD, Thornwell was led through this door and into the old mill. The combination of the dangerous drug and Thornwell's terrorized state of mind was having its intended effect.
I was at a table. I was with one of the agents. This man looked quite grotesque. He looked like he had probably been dead for 200 years. I mean, his skin didn't look real. He said, James, he says, you're in a lot of trouble. So I have to know, do you have the documents? I said, no. He said, if you have them, you must turn them over to me. He said, it won't make any difference whether you turn them over to me or not. We just want the documents so that we can have them and so that they won't fall into the wrong hands. I said, I don't have the documents. He says, where did you put them? I said, I haven't put them anywhere. Yes, you put them somewhere. And I said, no. He said, well, James, I assure you, nothing's going to happen. And we talked back and forth for a few minutes, and then all of a sudden, I just stiffened. As if somebody had turned, like I was in an electric chair, and somebody turned the juice on. And I just sort of froze, and my skin began to raise up on my bone. And I looked down to see if I was growing larger, because it felt like I had just gained 100 pounds. And he said to me, he says, you'll be all right. He says, just tell me what the documents are. I said, I don't know what they are. He says, yes, you do. And my head went over on the desk, and my head began to swell. And I felt my face, and I couldn't even feel my face. And I grabbed my head, and I hold it. And he said, crawl over here. And I said, I'm not going to crawl. I'll stay right here. And I find myself crawling across the floor. He'll say, sit in a chair. I said, no, I can't sit in that chair. I was sitting in that chair once. I felt like my mind had left my body. That my mind was sitting way out there in space. And I was sitting there looking at my own brain. And I just reached for it. And I kept reaching for it, and I just kept. And I found myself up against a table, and he was saying, "Where's the document?" And I was reaching for my mind, and it was just moving. And it was just moving.
According to an Army document, Thornwell was told that if he didn't cooperate, the intelligence team would extend his psychotic state indefinitely, even to a permanent condition of insanity. But a short time later, the Army dropped all charges against Thornwell and gave him a general discharge. Although the Army does not now dispute the facts in the Thornwell story, it is fighting hard to prevent Thornwell from having his day in court. The Army bases its argument mainly on the claim that the government cannot be made to pay for any injuries suffered by an individual in military service, regardless of their extent. The U.S. District Court in the District of Columbia is now deciding if Thornwell is legally entitled to a trial. In the meantime, the Department of the Army has informed 60 Minutes that it would support an act of Congress to compensate Thornwell for any damages he may have suffered while in the service. The Army's support, however, is contingent upon Thornwell dropping his suit against the government.